Hey YouTube, how's it going? Well, I'm a little late this morning, but better late than never, I always say. In any event, yesterday's video, the comments, there was a couple of things some folks expressed. One was a concern that going from now until the 1st of January was kind of a long time to go without testing. And it's not ideal, but it's not necessarily a horrible, hideous idea, because I do know the basic sort of eating habits I need in order to keep my blood sugar within an acceptable-ish kind of range. And all I have to do is just keep doing that. And with the exception of my Christmas pizzas, I'm going to. And so I don't anticipate any kind of a problem. Another thing was a question about why always test with the fingertips, with fingers, because, you know, it seems to me that you can get access to blood from all over the place, and it's true. And as a matter of fact, there is alternate testing sites. For example, you could test in the forearm, and that is actually a thing. But there has been some science, some further research done, and it seems that if you want an accurate blood sugar reading, as in right now, you test fingers. And the reason for that is that some research has shown that samples taken from the forearm, which there's a whole lot more of, and that means you can spread your testing sites out and so on and not be quite so much of a pin cushion, is that while you can of course get a drop of blood out of there and test it, you also find out that what the researchers found out was that there's a certain amount of lag. Now, that sounds weird, but it's true. A sample taken from fingertips has an accurate reading for right now. Sample taken from the forearm is about 30 minutes behind. So if I take a sample from a forearm, I'm getting an idea of what my blood sugar was a half an hour ago. I don't need to know what it was a half an hour ago. I need what it is now. And so, you know, I go with that. But I figure, I'm talking about like 2 weeks here, or maybe a hair over. But the idea is it's not all that long. And my fingertips are really sore because in the last 6 or 8 months, non-stop, actually probably longer than that, non-stop daily testing, at least once, sometimes 2 or 3 times. As you might imagine, that gets old. These babies hurt. And, you know, those little jabs don't seem like very much, but I'll tell you what, they add up over time. And I think it's more than reasonable to take some time not doing it. And so I figured a couple of weeks or so until the 1st of January is perfectly reasonable. As a matter of fact, it's entirely possible that I might think about testing every other day as long as my numbers don't go crazy. Of course, if I get a high number, it's going back to daily testing to make sure I bring it down. But, you know, I've been thinking about the idea, and I don't think it's necessarily a bad time. In any event, speaking of time, I think I've rattled on for probably long enough. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. I am out of here.
It's the TinFoilChef.